Thank you and also feel welcome. Today, just want us to go through cube roots, check on how cube roots are determined, what are cube roots, and also different methods of calculating these cube roots. So I'll start on the definition of cube root, and I'm saying that cube roots or the cube root of a number is the number that when multiplied by itself 3 times gives that particular number. So when you talk of a cube root of a number is the number that when multiplied by itself 3 times give the cube root. For example, the cube root of 8 is 2, and this one is actually written as cube root of 8 is equals to 2. This simply means that 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times, you get 8, and therefore 2 is referred to as the cube root of 8. Similarly, cube roots can be determined or obtained either by factor method or by use of calculator. And by use of factor method, for example, for use of factor method, you consider this example given there. They're saying find the cube root of 216, and from there realize that as 216 can be broken into 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 as a factor. If we take the factors of 216, we are getting 2 raised to 3 times 3 raised to 3. Now, factor method, we are going to group this number into 3, 3. And after grouping 3, 3, we take 1 for each case. So here we'll take 2, and here we'll take 3. Now, we therefore conclude that the cube root of 216 is equals to this 2 multiplied by this 3, which is 6. Second example, given the cube root of 125 divided by 343, again, this cube root can be actually distributive, that is, the cube root of 125 over the cube root of 343. Then we write this 125 as a factor for that case, and this one you're going to get 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, which gives us the cube root of this one. If you group into 3, then you take 1, you get 5. Similarly, 343, it's 7 times 7 times 7. Now, after grouping into 3, take 1. And therefore, the cube root of 125 over 343 is indeed 5 over 7. Similarly, a different example of a fraction, we have the cube root of 0.064, which is the same as the cube root of 64 over 1000. We are changing this number into a fraction. And by so doing, we can write 64 as a factor, which goes to 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4. And the other one is 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. Then the cube root of this one, we take 1 of the 4, and here we take 1 over 10. So we have 4 over 10, which end up to 0.4. Therefore, the cube root of 0.064 is indeed 0.4 using factor method. Thirdly, you're also given the cube root of algebra, those are letters. Find the cube root of this one, and you're told therefore this a power 6 can be written, you can distribute this cube root to have cube root of a power 6 multiplied by the cube root of b power 3. By so doing, we can expand this a6 to have a multiplied 6 times and also b multiplied 3 times. Now, cube root, we group it into three factors. So we'll have a 3 times to have this one, and also cube root of b 4 times like this one. Now, under each group, we take one letter. For this one is a, for this one again is a, and for this one is b. Then we multiply a by b, we get a squared b, and therefore the cube root of a6 b3 is indeed a squared B. Lastly, you are given another example here that the volume of a cube is 1,000 cubic centimeters. Then you're told to find the length of the cube. Remember, the cube has all its sides equal, and therefore the volume is length cubed. Now, if the volume is length cubed, then to get the length, we'll have to look for the cube root of the volume. And the cube root of the volume, which is 1,000, equals to, then you can write 1,000 into factors of either 2 and 5, which means 2 power 3 and 5 power 3 give us 1,000. Then we'll group them into 3, and each factor, under each group we take one number. So 2 by 2 by 2 we take 2, 5 by 5 by 5 we take 5, which now give us 2 by 5, which is 10. I believe that short demonstration of how to find the cube roots is indeed a step in understanding more of this question related to cube root. Please, you can subscribe to be notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you. Let's meet again.